I've gotten several questions about how to make this hi-hat controller actually work. Um, let's go through what the defaults are first, and then I'll show you what I think makes a lot more sense in the context of using this with software. So, look at the note here. We have note 46. You can change the note, but that's in BFD2. You can see, or I can tell you anyway, that it is the open tip sound for the hi-hat. I'm hitting the hi-hat symbol around here, and then if I press down on the pedal and hit the hi-hat, then I get the closed tip sound in BFD2, and there's nothing in between. We just have all the way open or all the way closed. So that works with the hi-hat controller and the whatever you have plugged into the hi-hat input. Now, it doesn't matter, that's the trigger input. It doesn't matter what you actually have plugged in there, it will control whatever is actually plugged into that hi-hat slot, whether it be a drum or a cymbal or whatever. But there's a much better way of going about getting a full range of open to closed hi-hat sounds. So what you do is make sure you can do it in BFD2 or you can do it with the trigger I/O. But because I don't have full BFD2 license yet, I'm going to actually adjust the MIDI settings in the trigger I/O and adjust that to BFD. You could also remap BFD to match your kit, or a combination of both. So what we're going to do is find out what the variable tip hi-hat is. Looks like that's lower, so I'm just going to keep lowering the MIDI note as I play the hi-hat until we get to variable tip. So I'm hitting the value down and hitting the cymbal until we get to what says hi-hat variable tip, which in this case is note number 34. Then we're going to step down on the hi-hat pedal, play it again. That's a different note, but we actually want to have it be the same note. We're going to change that to 34 as well. This can be different. Maybe it's the same across BFD2. I don't actually know because I only have one kit with the demo. But you can remap that if you had anything but the demo. So now we'll be able to get the full action of the hi-hat pedal all the way from closed to 3/4 open, or yeah, 3/4 closed, half open, half closed, and then 1/4, and finally all the way fully open. So that's pretty much what you need to do in terms of the hitting the hi-hat with the stick. And then what we're going to do is adjust the pedal itself. So the pedal for the crosstalk setting, unlike every other input, every other trigger input, we have a calibration mode, and it's not really described well in the manual, but what you actually need to do is hit both value up and down at the same time, and then put your foot down and leave it there for a few seconds. And that supposedly calibrates it. So I just triggered the wrong thing, sorry. What that will do is allow you to hit a note with the pedal itself and not always have it be the same volume. So now we can get a little bit of dynamic range with, maybe put the camera closer here so we can hear it out of the speaker. Quiet sound, and then a louder sound. So you get dynamic range out of the note being sent from the pedal. Now BFD2 supposedly has an automatic triggering mode of its own if you don't have that kind of sending note from a pedal ability. I haven't gotten to try it because it's not in the demo yet, so that might work out better. I actually don't find this mode to be all that great. There's lots of weird re-triggering, but it does silence the cymbal when you do that. So if you have any more questions about how to calibrate the pedal, go ahead and ask me, but make sure that you do have these things plugged into the right inputs. This is going to be hi-hat. It's like number 3 on next to the kick drum and the snare, and then the other controller is near the port. Make sure what this is called. It says something like increment, decrement. Don't plug it in there. Make sure it's in the hi-hat slot underneath that. And here's a follow-up. I didn't show you what it would sound like without calibrating the pedal. I have it on the kick as a kick drum sound, so you could have double bass if you wanted to. Anyways, right now you see it's always at the same dynamic range. no matter if I hit it quickly or slowly. And then after we do this value up and down, hold the foot down, then we can play from quiet to loud.